Hello students, welcome. This is Dr. Chetna Kumawat. In today's lecture, we will understand how to prepare cash flow statement. The cash flow statement is prepared on the basis of comparative balance sheet at 2 points of time, that is the beginning and end of the accounting period. Number 2, income statement or profit and loss account of the current accounting period. And number 3, additional information to extract the hidden transactions, that is sale and purchase of fixed assets for cash. The basic objective of cash flow statement is to inform about the cash inflows and cash outflows during the year. According to Accounting Standard 3, the cash flow statement is the essence of receipt and payment of cash and cash equivalents and shows the changes in cash position caused by operating, investing, and financing activities. Hence, the preparation of cash flow statement involves the following steps. Step number 1, compute the net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent given in the comparative balance sheet. Step number 2, calculate the net cash flow provided by operating activities. Number 3, calculate the net cash flow from investing activities. Number 4, calculate the net cash flows from financing activity. Step number 5, prepare a cash flow statement in approved format. And the last step is report significant non-cash transaction in a separate schedule to cash flow statement. Okay, so now understand step by step. Step 1, calculation of net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. For preparing cash flow statement, according to AS3, the opening balance of total cash and cash equivalent is compared with the closing balance of cash and cash equivalents. The net increase or decrease is calculated by this method. The difference between the totals of opening and closing balances will be the increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents during the period. It should be noted that if there are one or two items of cash and etc., then the table need not to be prepared. Items are cash in hand, cash at bank, short-term investment or marketable securities. Step number 2, calculation of cash flows from operating activities. The term operating activities refers to the normal business transactions relating to goods and services of the firm, that is, sale and purchase of goods and services. The net cash flow generated or used by operating activities may be ascertained on the basis of the information given in the comparative balance sheet, income statement, and the additional information. But the profit or loss as shown in P&L account or income statement is not the same amount as increase or decrease in cash balances. This is because net profit is computed using the accrual basis of accounting. In this system, revenues are recorded when earned, although the cash for some of them may not have been collected, and expenses are recorded when incurred, although all of them may not have been paid in cash. Further, certain non-cash and non-operating items such as depreciation, provision for doubtful debts, interest expenses, etc. are charged to profit and loss account. Therefore, in order to calculate net cash flow from operating activities, it is necessary to restate revenues and expenses on a cash basis and eliminate non-cash and non-operating items. The Accounting Standard 3 has given two methods, A, the direct method, and B, the indirect method, to find out the net cash from operating activities. Direct method. Using this method, the major classes of cash receipts and payments are as follows. Cash flows from operating activities. In this, we will mention cash received from customers, cash paid to suppliers and employees. This would be deducted. Then it will come to us cash generated from operations. Then income tax paid, cash flow before extraordinary items, then extraordinary items, and now the result is net cash flow from operating activities. The above figures are calculated by converting the net profit and loss account prepared on accrual basis into cash basis as explained further. Cash receipts from customers consists of receipts from cash sales and collections of debtors arising from credit sales. Cash sales result in cash inflows in the current period. However, collection from customers require additional calculations. This is so because sales from an earlier period may be collected in the current period. Sales from current period may not be collected in a future period, or some debtors may not be collected at all. As a result, collections from customers in the current period are seldom equal to credit sales. Therefore, the cash receipts from customers during the current period are calculated as follows. Total sales for the year as given in P&L account, add debtors and bills receivable at the beginning. Then less debtors and bills receivable at the end, and it will be cash receipts from customers. Number 2. Cash paid to suppliers and employees includes cash paid to supplier for purchase of goods and services and operating expenses like administration, selling and distribution. For calculating cash payments to suppliers, adjustments are made in the cost of goods sold for changes in inventory, creditors and bills payable. Cash payment for services including operating expenses differs from expenses appearing in the P&L account. Hence, adjustment must be made for the changes in prepaid and outstanding expenses. Income tax paid usually differs from the estimated income tax expenses appearing on the P&L account. Also, a part of the income tax expenses for a year is paid in the following year when assessment is made. So this was it for the direct method. Let's also take an understanding of indirect method. Under this method, cash flow from operating activities is calculated on the basis of net profit as reported in the P&L account or balance sheet. This method is especially used when amount of sales is not given in the question. In this method, several adjustments are made to convert net profit to net cash flow from operating activities. These adjustments can be categorized in two parts as given below. Part 1. Adjustments for non-cash and non-operating items. For calculating operating profits before working capital changes, the following non-cash and non-operating items are added back, and non-operating incomes and gains are deducted from the net profit for the year. Items to be added back to net profit. There are some items shown on the debit side of P&L account which do not result in the outflow of cash. Such items are called non-cash items. These items should be added back to net profit to calculate the cash from operations. These items are generally as follows: depreciation and amortization of fictitious or intangible assets such as goodwill, preliminary expenses, discount of issue of shares and debentures. Loss on sale of fixed assets, transfers to reserves such as general reserve sinking funds, creation of provisions such as provision for doubtful debts, provision for discount on debtors, provision for taxation, and proposed dividend. B. Items to be deducted from net profit. There are some incomes on the credit side of P&L account, but they are non-operating incomes. Therefore, these items should be deducted from net profit to find and the operating profit. These items are as follows: profit on sale of fixed assets, retransfer of excess provisions to P&L account, other non-trading incomes such as dividend received, interest received, refund of taxes, etc. It is clear from the above that the method of calculating cash from operating activities is just like the calculation of funds from operations as explained in the previous chapter, which was funds flow analysis. Part 2. Adjustment for changes in current assets and current liabilities. Current assets and current liabilities go on changing frequently. Although these changes do not affect the amount of net profit, they affect the amount of cash generated from operating activities. Hence, in order to arrive at the figure of cash from operating activities, there is need for adjustment in respect of these changes. These changes will be made in the following manner. Funds from operation, add increase in current liabilities excluding bank overdraft, add decrease in current assets excluding cash and bank balances, less increase in current assets excluding cash and bank balances, and less decrease in current liabilities excluding bank overdraft. This will result into cash from operations. Change in income tax payable should be considered if the starting point of computation is profit after tax. In nutshell, the cash flows from operating activities under indirect method are computed as follows. Net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Add non-cash and non-operating items which have already been debited to P&L account, such as depreciation and amortization, transfer to reserves and provisions, provision for doubtful debts, goodwill or preliminary expenses written off, other intangible assets written off such as discount on loss on issue of shares, debentures, underwriting commission, etc., gain or loss on sale or disposal of fixed assets or investments, interest or dividend paid, foreign exchange losses, less non-cash and non-operating items which have already been credited to P&L account, such as gain on sale of fixed assets, profit on sale of investments, income from interest or dividends on investments, appreciation, reserves written back, foreign exchange gain. It will result into operating profit before working capital changes. Then adjustments for changes in current assets and current liabilities. Add decrease in accounts of current assets except cash and equivalents, such as decrease in trade debtors, decrease in bills receivables, decrease in inventories or stock in trade, decrease in prepaid expenses, etc. Also add increase in accounts of current liabilities except bank overdraft, such as increase in creditors, increase in bills payable, increase in outstanding expenses. Now, less increase in accounts of current assets as stated above, decrease in accounts of current liabilities as stated above. Cash generated from or used in operations before tax. This will result into cash generated from operations before tax. Less income tax paid. This will be cash flow before extraordinary items. Add or less extraordinary items if any, and this will finally look as net cash from operating activities. Thus, note that under indirect method, adjustments are made to net profit, whereas under direct method, individual items of revenues and expenses are adjusted to calculate cash receipts and payment. The indirect method gives the same result as the direct method. It is used most frequently because it is the easier method to apply, and it helps to explain the reasons for the difference between net income and net cash flow provided by operating activities. So this is it for today's lecture. Thank you so much for your patience and listening.